Hello, I'm alive. Hello. It would be my mom's 95th birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Mwah. I got this there's this little cute store I used to go to by where my RV was stored. By my RV storage, there was this little store. Gosh, I forget what it's called now. It was like a market and was like a little, kind of like a Cracker Barrel store, but it was also had produce. I forget what it was called, but I got this there. Home is where your mom is, and my mom's in heaven, and that is our ultimate home. So, but she passed in 2009, and I still miss her. And I often wish I could ask her things. So, but that's okay. I can't, but I will see her again one day. I'm gonna share out my video. Red is live. I think I'm gonna order myself some DoorDash. I think I'm gonna. Hey, Bren. You're here for the moment. Well, thank you for being here for the moment. Thank you. Thank you for being here. How are things? How are things? Let me do one thing too. I'm going to, let's see. I think I can. Oh, no, wait. Well, let me see if I can do this. I'm seeing if I can edit this. Let me see. Comments are on. I'm having a, let's see. Aha, I see it. Subscribers for, how about 20 minutes? 20 minutes, okay. I'm putting on subscribers only in case. Oh, let's pray for you right now. Dear Lord, I pray for Bren's healing, Lord, that you would just heal this rash and make it go away, Lord. Offer some sort of solution and help Bren to just have an idea that might work for it, or anything. We know with you all things are possible, Lord. We pray that you would just make it go away. We know you're capable of doing that, Lord. Continue to strengthen her and caring for her mother, and continue to heal her mother, Lord. And I just pray that you would be with her. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, Tim. Hi. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Larkwood. Hi. Huh. Obviously not an allergic reaction to. Well, it could have spread. Yes, of course I'm still in Colorado. I'm in an apartment. No, I love my apartment though. I really do. Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, yeah. I've been here for 2 years. It's like it's time for Red to get the itch, right? Tim knows me. He's like, where? He's probably surprised. Yes, I'm still in Denver. Even like when my son, it's kind of, I guess it's good. My job, I tried having, I tried being normal. I suppose I tried being normal for a little bit, and I had a job. I'm gonna open my. I need to light my candle. I'm gonna open my root beer first, though. I'm thirsty. Oh, I was thinking about moving to California, right? So my daughter talked me out of that. Kind of. She didn't really have to say much, but she said, "We'd love spending time with you. We'd love for you to move here to Philly." She lives right near Philly, right outside of Philly. So she kind of talked me out of that, not just because I was considering moving there, but just because if I move to California, I'll be, that much further away from her, Right now, it's like a 24-hour drive. I do it in 2 days. I try to do it in one 24 hour. I tried doing it and stopping and resting I was at a Love's on the way there last December. Too exhausting. So I do it now in 2 days. I do it in 2 days, but it's still so exhausting to drive there. I flew there last time. I flew there in last year. I drove both times. This year I've flown, and I'm not sure yet if I'm going to. You only drink beer. You're in Illinois. Yeah, you just like drive right. No, I'm not really on the way to Illinois from Los Angeles, am I? Kind of, sorta. If you went, like, I don't know. If you went, I don't know. No, still, Chicago is like further north than me. Like, if I just go straight across, I go right through St. Louis, where I was at before, where I was based before. Thirsty. Gosh, I've been messing around on the computer. I feel like I'm playing catch up is what I'm doing. You're right next to Wisconsin. I'm gonna light the candle. So Red's followers are called flames. So I light a candle and sing you a little song. And it's my mom's 95th birthday, but she's in heaven. But I'm going to sing this little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's warm in here a little bit. I've been trying to save money by not turning the AC on. Since I've not been working since February, I went to California. Yeah, I went to California for a visit. Tim. I went to California in June, and I went to the Switchfoot getaway. I don't even know if were you there. Were I don't even know where you were if you were there in I don't know if you were there in June. Where were you in June? But I was there. Like I didn't even want to go. It's a long story, but I was having anxiety. My job was stressing me out. So I decided to just quit my job. They said my certification for my shallow water life saving course was only going to be active until August. So I was going to try to stay until August, and then I was going to quit. But there was just kept on being things going on, and it was so annoying, and I was so stressed. And I was having so much anxiety. I didn't even want to go to California to the Switchfoot getaway. To the Switchfoot getaway. I love California. I love Switchfoot. I'm usually all ready to go, but I didn't even not even want to go. But I went because I had paid for it. I'm turning this on. I wonder if I could get a screen door on my door. I might open it. But I try not to turn on. I'm very warm natured anyways. I'm not really great with cold. So what am I doing in Denver? It's 80. It's not really that hot. But so yeah, I tried to get with Carol. She was too busy. And then I was going to go up to see Lindy. And then Lindy was too hot and she decided to go to Flagstaff. So I went to Flagstaff to see Lindy, and then I went back to Denver after the Switchfoot getaway. So I didn't really hang out in California very long like I had planned to. So I came back here. And I've been having stuff going on I've told y'all on here that I've had stuff going on in my family that I can't really go into. So yeah, that. So yeah. And I'm going to play, I'll tell you guys a story. Oh, I can read. I have a poem about my mom. The poem I read at her memorial is in here. So I'll read that to you. But this is, hey, CW, hi. Hi, Christina. Hi, hello. I'm so glad you guys are here. Thank you for being here. And Tim is always delivering for DoorDash. I don't order it very often, but I think I'm going to order DoorDash because it's Friday and it's my mom's birthday. Yeah. And I'm not going to cook anything. I don't really have anything to cook. I didn't take anything out of the freezer to cook. And so, yeah. But I'm kind of just chilling right now. I'm not going anywhere for a while. Oh, you know Christina? My nose is running. I'm going to play Amazing Grace for you. But this is the song I played at my mom's memorial, but it's not the song. I know she likes this song too. She also likes Be Thou My Vision. I could play that, but I know this one better, but because I never practice my flute anymore. So let me just play something I know. But so yeah, and CW, I wanted to apologize to you because I don't know if was it Wednesday or was it Monday. It might have been Monday. I think it was Monday. I didn't pray for you, but I prayed for you afterwards. I was like, oh, I forgot to pray. That's always my fear. That's why, like, I make a list and oh, by the way, I need to do my list. Let me do my list. Let me do my prayer list so I don't have to go back through the chat. But see, I had not. So, how are you, Larkwood? Let me make my list. Thank you all so much for being here. I got Bren, I got Tim. And then Larkwood. Did you say your name was Doug? Is that right? Oh, you're gonna pull from your. Okay, what's the difference between a 491k and a 401k? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what's the difference? Yeah, I was pulling from mine too early, and so I stopped it when I got the money from my dad. I didn't need to, but yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play Amazing Grace for you after I finish my list here. Oh, and Christina, I mailed your book yesterday. I mailed the book to you. Christina won a book on Monday. And I'm going to give away a book, either my book or another book, just a book every Monday. Okay, so that's who I've got. It says 5 watching. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 1. That's 4 actually. Hey, other person watching. No, I'm not at CW style. Okay, that is 5. Okay. I can't forget you again. Oh my goodness. But I prayed for you and I wanted to tell you, and I wanted to tell you I was sorry. I felt so bad. Oh, it's bad. Me and the guilt, it's bad. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better. I'm not letting. I still am guilting myself, right? But I'm not letting others guilt me anymore, which is progress. Which is progress. Yeah, because that's a big thing. My ex and my children would use to control me. So, yeah, it's hard though. It's hard. It's rough. That's why Red always says, "Pray for me." Pray for me. Yep, that is the one I played at and I grabbed my. I just shared the devotion thing that I share. Let me see. I wonder if I can find a picture. Oh, this isn't too picture. Ah, Just reach in the pile and I'll find one. There's my mom from a while ago. And this is my brother Paul, who passed in 2002. And this is his friend Lonnie. But that was a while ago. I just found this. That's me and my two oldest. And I just reached in there and found that. That's me. Little chick. It's a baby chick. But, let me see if I can find another one. I'll find another one. Here's an old one. My mom was born in 1929. Look, this looks just like my youngest is named Lydia Ellen for my mom. And she came out looking just like my mom. So she's about 1 year old here. It says on the back. She wrote it on the back. I'm trying to see where. It's got to be in this calendar somewhere. Huh. Oh, here's my mom and dad. That's in front of their house in Aurora Grande. I made up this calendar with pictures of our family, and then I sent it out as Christmas presents. I was born in 1930. Yeah, my dad was born in 1928. And my mom was born in the Philippines because my grandfather was in the army. And here's one. This is her graduation picture. So that's about 1946. Yeah. I used to have this one in a frame hanging on my wall, but all the pictures I took out and I put in this these boxes, and these are the boxes that I carried around in my RV. Oh, here's a wedding picture. 1949. She could have taken her glasses off. Later on, when she would take pictures, she would take her glasses off. But yeah, I'll read the yeah. Yes, thank you. And I have a poem I put in here about my mom. And I didn't, and I really never had a deadline. Like these poems, I finally sort of put myself on a deadline. So when I separated from my husband, then I wanted to get this published, and I published it with Amazon Creative Space, and it was free. It was so easy. It was so easy. So I did that. But when I wrote the poem about her, I felt kind of rushed because, I was going to her memorial, and I didn't like my poem, and I had some of her journals, and this I put a picture of me and my mom. I'm like about 15 years old there, so she's about my age now here. She's about 50 something. So I said, yeah, that was about 1980. Let's see. Yeah, well, she was younger than me there. Younger than me there, 51. And I'm about 14 or 13, maybe, actually. But I didn't like the poem, and but I was reading her journals, and she actually encouraged me in her journals, and she said, I was talking about like perfectionism and about like, how like when you're, I don't know, when you're a perfectionist, and she was talking about that, and perfectionism is a thief. And I sort of felt through that reading her journal, I was like, the poem is good enough. I'm like, it's too repetitive. I don't like it. And uh, and I was just picking apart my own poem, and but I did read it at her memorial and with that whole explanation. So, good night. Thanks for coming in, Tim. I appreciate it. Thank you. So it's called, the verse I put before it is from Proverbs 31. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Proverbs 31:30. And I wrote this poem about my mother, Ellen Olson Hewitt, August 16th, 1929, April 14th, 2009. It's called You Showed Me by Example. You showed me by example how to love to read. You showed me by example how to teach and lead. You showed me by example how to stand for my convictions, even if I stand alone. You showed me by example how to keep the home. You showed me by example how to read God's word. You showed me by example how to pray to God. See how repetitive it is. You showed me by example how to hold on. You showed me by example how to forgive. You showed me by example no one's perfect, but we can rely on the one who is. So, and it started by, you showed me by example, was because I asked my mom for advice on a couple of different occasions, and she said, I'm like, how do you get them to pick up? And she said, like, you have to help them. You have to help them. Hi, Letitia. How are you? I'm adding you to the list, to the prayer list. So yeah, that's the poem about my mom, and I want to tell you the story about what what she wanted me to play on my flute, which has to do with my dad, and it's funny, but she and I have a story about all that, but she wanted me to play to send in the clowns on my flute at her memorial. I'm gonna put this picture back. Which is a nice song. She really liked that song. Judy Collins, I think, sang it. A couple of different people sang it, and and I didn't make it there before she passed. She was home on hospice care, and I talked to her on Good Friday, and she passed the day after Easter. And they sang this song at church, and like I knew I that's my reminder to pray for my kids. Dear Lord, please bless all of our children and all of our grandchildren, Lord. We pray that you would be with them, that you would watch over them and protect them, that they would know you are real. They would know that you love them, Lord, that they would know that we love them. And we thank you for our children and our grandchildren, Lord. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, Elsa. Hi. How are you? So good to see you. So good to see all of you. Putting you on my prayer list. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Says 7 in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. I didn't open up the YouTube side. Let me open up. Well, I did. Wait. Okay. That's right. I did. Does it say? So now does my live say subscribers only? I started to put it on subscribers only. It kind of slows down if there's any trolls that come around. Huh. I don't see that it says it. Did it work? Ah, okay, yeah. Redheaded Riding Hood turned on subscribers only mode. So it's only for 20 minutes. So if you're new here and you can't chat yet, if you subscribe in 20 minutes, you'll be able to chat. And I'm going for 2 hours, so I should still be here. All right. Sorry for the inconvenience, though, but it slows the trolls down. So, yeah, it does. So, anyways, the story. I was going to tell you is that she wanted me to play Send in the Clowns. And I really think she kind of had, maybe it's just as well that I didn't play that, but because it was kind of, because it's from, I found out it's from a play. Let me see what. It's from a play about a person who a guy who leaves his partner and gets with a younger woman. And so I found out that that's what it's from. And it's from a musical, a little night music. And it's just, it's like sort of a love triangle. But anyways, the thing in the story that stood out to me was, because I think my mom just knew like he was going to get with someone else because he had been unfaithful before and they almost divorced, right? So, but in this play, when the guy gets with the younger woman, the marriage is never consummated. So I felt like she wanted me to play it because of that. But so. Oh, Tim. Tim, my favorite hymn. Tim's a good guy, isn't he? Yeah. We've missed you too, Elsa. So you were on a plan. Do you have more availability on your plan now? You're on your phone, and I hope you can come around more. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here now. So, um, and so when my mom passed, I went out there and my I was late. My flight was late. I was held up on the tarmac. It's like ever since my mom passed in 2009, I try as much as possible to get a direct flight, especially if it's, to California. It's within the United States. Of course, I couldn't get a direct flight. Although I heard somebody from my church is going to London and has a direct flight. They left on Sunday. I was like, a direct flight? Really? I couldn't find a direct flight to Europe. I had to go to Newark and then Newark to Lisbon, though. I wasn't going to London, but I guess you can find direct flights from Denver to London. I'm like, okay, next time maybe I'll do that. But so anyways, I didn't have a direct flight. I was going from Georgia. I got held up. I think it was stopping in Dallas. I think I got held up because of the weather in Dallas. And it's like, I'm not even going to Dallas. So I flew into LA, and then it's 3 hours drive to my parents. So I got to my parents pretty late. My dad was in bed, and I was up with my sister, and we were talking, and we were going through stuff. And we were talking about, like, she has something where she wrote down what she wants at the memorial. And we were talking, and we were going back and forth, and we were in her office, and she had, and it was recently, they found it at a garage sale too. And you can get these little music boxes, and my daughter actually found me one. I didn't end up keeping it though, but it was nice, and it was thoughtful of her. I might get another one someday. I gave this one to my aunt because she had collected clowns. Actually, she kind of creepy, but it was a little music box with a clown, and we were in her office, and that was on a little table outside her office. And as we were talking about this, it fell off the table and started playing. And my sister and I looked at each other like, I really think it was my mom. It started playing the Send in the Clown song. So I have a couple little incidences where I feel like it was really my mom. She's been in my dad's dream since she passed. And in my dream just recently, I had a dream about her. Hi, Glenn. How are you? It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of y'all. And I want to read the rest of the story of. I'm going to give me DoorDash though. What am I going to get? Let's see. I'm wondering though, DoorDash might be offloaded off my phone. Let me see. Oh, wait, I see it. It's still here. I don't use it that often. Can I ask the app not to track? What should I get? Oh, I could get Del Taco too. Oh, wow. So many choices. I shouldn't get on here. I'm going to. I never tried the Taste of Philly is here. Taste of Philly. Wingstop. Hmm. Yeah, it's just I think I'm just gonna get um Chick-fil-A. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Chick-fil-A nuggets meal. Hmm. I think I'm gonna get a sandwich with a side salad. Previously ordered. I can just get the previously ordered options. Oh, one half unsweet tea, one half honey spicy chicken wings. Oh, that does sound good. I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A. Um, and then, oh, you know what? I can make my own salad. Yeah, I shouldn't order salad because I can make my own salad. So my salad stuff doesn't go bad because I hate that. I don't want to. I don't want it to go to waste. You know. Compliment your cart. Oh, you know what I want? I want a frosted lemonade. That's what I want. Can I change it? Let me see. Um, um, I want the frosted lemonade. Frosted. Do they have the diet frosted lemonade? Yeah, frosted lemonade with diet lemonade. Okay, that's good. That's good. That made it like $3 more because it's frosted. It's diet frosted lemonade though. It's really yummy. Okay. Tip. Alrighty. All right. my orders on its way. It arrives between 6:47 and 7:02. Okay, I'm hungry. Excuse me. Yeah, I have funny Chick-fil-A story too. I I have lots of funny Chick-fil-A stories now. um, I probably told you guys before, but maybe you don't remember. I don't know. But one of the jobs, like I told you, like I was, even when I started doing Airbnb, I was still looking for a regular job. I was still looking for a regular job. And unbeknownst to me, so back then, 2018, my daughter was a senior, I think, in high school. Yeah, she graduated in 2019. So right before she became, I think it was right before she became a senior in high school. So 2018, it was 2018 though, but it was like the fall. It was like the fall. It was around the time right before Mohammed came to my Airbnb, the green card guy. And I went to open interviews at Chick-fil-A, and there was like 3 Chick-fil-A's. They made another one like that's right by my house in Georgia too. And we lived in a teeny tiny town. So it was just like, my daughter used to call it like a truck stop. It's a truck stop town. Because it's where the trucks stop, on the high. It was right off the highway, right after 75. So there were 3 Chick-fil-A's though in Warner Robins. And so we went to open interviews. We didn't see each other though, because they had a number of them and we didn't go to like the same one. So unbeknownst to each other, we had both gone to open interviews. Guess who they at that time? It was like, it wasn't even, I don't think it was a year later when, I had these, because I got these ones on this side in 2014. I got these ones on this side in 2017. So I had those, and I think that's why they didn't hire me. I don't know, but there were a lot of kids there, a lot of people there, and so unbeknownst to me, we had both gone to these open interviews, and they hired her, not me. And I was just like, man. Oh goodness. I did boycott them for a while. I did, but not for very long, really, because I just love Chick-fil-A, right? And I don't believe in any of those. Like, people were getting on to me about, like, my friends that were very uber conservative were getting on to me for shopping at Target. And I'm like, I don't do that. I don't do those. I don't do those whatever boycotts or whatever things, except for, I used to, because I used to be the super uber conservative fundamentalist. I mean, we didn't go to Disney for many years. I think my husband was really glad, saved him a lot of money with 5 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids. And we drove right by it every Thanksgiving because we'd go to see his parents in Boca Raton. We'd go right by it. The nuggets are so good. Yeah, I almost got the nuggets. I almost got the nuggets. I had a little Airbnb guest. She was so sweet. Brianna, was it? No. Caitlin. Her name was Caitlin. She was a nursing student. She loved Chick-fil-A. And she told me about, I had never had them. You ever had the little minis? The little chicken nuggets in a little mini biscuit? And also for soccer at the high school, we used to sell the chicken biscuits. I used to sell them at the elementary school, actually, because I dropped my kids off at elementary school and then I'd sell biscuits. And it would make money for the goal club for the high school soccer teams. So anyway, Chick-fil-A, we always loved Chick-fil-A. And so my daughter gets hired and I don't get hired. And that was 2018. And then when Mohammed was visiting, so like I said, he wined and dined me. No, he didn't wine and dine me. Neither of us drank. We were both ultra conservative. Me, fundamentalist Christian. Him, Islamic. So no whining. Dining me without the wine. So he was doing all that. So we would talk about food, and I'd cook for him, and he said my cooking was amazing. He gave me a glowing review on Airbnb. He gave me a great review. And talking about like cupcakes and everything I cooked was amazing and all of that. But we also would go out to eat, and he would talk about how in Saudi Arabia they would get all of the restaurants they have here. He's like, oh yeah, they have they have the Chick-fil-A, they have the McDonald's, they have they have everything, but they don't they don't have the Chick-fil-A. So he loved Chick-fil-A. And to see, I and Warner Robinson, I was so, my younger son laughed at me. I didn't know he didn't eat pork. I didn't know Islamics didn't eat pork. I know Jewish people didn't eat pork, but the Jewish family I worked for in Boca Raton, they were not real conservative, so they did eat pork. But anyways, I kept offering him pork, and I would always go to Sonny's Barbecue, which was right down the street from me in Warner Robins, and so I loved pork. So he finally told me, and he was being all polite and everything. We don't eat pork. Sorry. And I even made him like the quiche with the chicken in it instead of the pork. But he loved Chick-fil-A. And so at the end, when he was really pouring it on, I feel like he was really pouring it on because he was leaving. He would take me to Chick-fil-A like every night. We drive through Chick-fil-A. So it was funny. It was funny. And then that did end up, my daughter ended up working. I didn't know which one she was going to work at. She ended up working at the one that was right by me, my youngest daughter. And then I used to go by there to sort of see her, but she was giving me the cold shoulder, and she was being more and more just pushing me away, and it was heartbreaking. So that was really why I stopped going to Chick-fil-A, and especially that Chick-fil-A, because I used to go to that Chick-fil-A because I wanted to see her. But like the last time I went, like she handed me my Chick-fil-A like I was a total stranger. And I said, thank you. And she didn't say my pleasure. And I was so pissed. I wanted to go inside and say, you know what? Because it's like the thing with them. They have to say my pleasure, and she didn't say it to me even. And it was just so heartbreaking. So I stopped. And that was right before she had graduated high school in 2019, right before the pandemic. Just missed it. And that was, when I prepared to started preparing to move away and leave Georgia. And then she, not shortly after that, like a year, I think it was maybe a year after I left, I'm not sure. Or it might have been around the same time. It was during the pandemic. I think it might have been 2021. She joined the Air Force. And so she left Georgia also. So the grilled nuggets are amazing. Well, were years ago. Yeah. Oh, I like In and Out Burger. I thought of that. I like In and Out and Five Guys. Um, and incidentally, my ex was very competitive with me, and I didn't really realize it at first. I didn't see it as that, but um, he learned to cook. He found a recipe online. He looked for the recipe for Chick-fil-A nuggets, and he used to make them at home. And he was a very good cook because he was always like, anything you can do, I can do better. You know that song? Anything you can do, you know. And I taught at church, and so he started teaching at church, and he, you know, my hat's off to him. He needs an Oscar. So I would play my flute for the kids at church, and you know what he did? He learned to play the ukulele. I don't know if he still plays it, but he learned to play the ukulele. And I thought, oh, that's neat. He's into music like I'm into music. And I didn't realize at first. I was like, he's in competition with me instead of being like a partner with me and saying, oh, it's cool that you can do that and you do that. He was always in competition with me. So it was very interesting. But he did learn to make the Chick-fil-A nuggets, and they were very good. And very good. And he used to act like I didn't cook or something. And I was like, oh, he likes to cook. And he says, I like to eat. And then later on, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like I don't cook. So he has to cook in order to eat, you know? And I'm like, why are you saying that? Because I cook for you all the time, and I cook more often than you do. So, anyways, I feel like I was still a better cook than him. But anyways, but it was a competition, and it was exhausting. It's like, this is not why I got married. I don't want to be in a competition with you. And yeah. So whole chicken cooked for $5. Yeah. I want to say I am going to say another poem for you. I am going to say the storm poem again because it is my favorite. And lately I'm going to share with you some songs that inspired the storm poem. And going I'm going to tell you, but I haven't really done it yet. I've kind of started. I've got ideas in my head. I'm writing a second storm poem. So that's why I'm thinking about it. Um, so it was inspired by a couple of songs, and I'm going to drop it in the link in the let's see something. I'm trying to find the. I didn't see this one with Phil Wickham. Oh, this is the one I like. Live from the YouTube. Yeah, this is the one. So it was inspired by this Casting Crown song called I'll Praise You in the Storm. Called Praise You in the Storm. Inspired by this song and another. Because I want to share with you too. This 10th Avenue North song that inspired the Storm poem, but then I saw, and it was before I already had the name for my book, The 7-Story Tree. And the poem, the song that inspired the Storm poem, well, it's actually only the word, Worn. The song is called Worn by 10th Avenue North. Let me put this song in the chat first. So the song Worn by 10th Avenue North, the Storm poem goes, I'll praise you even when I'm worn because you carry me through the storm. And that is inspired by the song by 10th Avenue North. So it's just the word, it's just the title of the song actually. But that's where that was my thought in writing, because it's a beautiful song. And in the song, I discovered later, after, I already had the tree theme in my head. In the song Worn, he's sitting under a tree that's dead in the winter. And as he sings the song, the tree is coming back to life. And it's just beautiful. And I'm sure I cried when I saw the video for the song, and I was like, wow. And it was one of those things, like one of those God winks. I was going to talk about that tonight too. God winks. It was one of those God winks. And another, Casting Crowns is another inspiration. So many inspirations, so many songs, so many songs. Psalm 45 about the king inspired this tattoo, but also so many songs and the Casting Crowns, the Christian artists, and everything inspired my crown tattoo. The king, of course. I guess I was at a why was I at a football game? I must have been at a soccer game. That's what I was usually at. A soccer game. I don't know. And this guy asked about my tattoos, and I sort of like thought like, oh, I think he's just hitting on me. So I was just like, this is the short answer. Jesus is my king. There you go. Now, dude, leave me alone. Bye. My bad. So I'm gonna say it again. It's in here. I actually read it. I'm like, am I saying it still? I think I added a no in there. I read it because I hadn't read it in so long. I read the storm poem today because I just say it. I say it from memory all the time, and I just know it because I've said it a million times, I'm sure. Um, so you got a man. Jesus, right. You met him. Yeah, I got a man already. Like, leave me alone, dude. Jesus is my man. Um, I don't know. He could have been the one. Like, what? Oh, what? Maybe I messed up. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Nah, I don't think so. It was too soon. That was definitely too soon. That was a while ago. Um, so, um, I'm gonna say the storm poem. Oh, my Chick-fil-A is on the way. You say that no one cares for you? Well, that's not true because I do, and God does too. Oh, that I could fix your problem. I'd mend you up. You'd no longer be stuck in that addiction or depression, the trials that come in rapid succession. But what can I do? I cannot fix you. I can't make you believe or even relieve that deep ache in your heart. Just where do I start? Don't do nothing, she yelled at me. So what should I do? Scream and shout and run about? Perhaps sit and pout? No, I'll fight a war upon my knees, and quietness and confidence shall be my strength. He keeps my prayers and my tears. Perhaps the overflow makes the rain to water all the pain upon the earth. I'll thank him for this thorn. I'll praise him even when I'm worn, like the 10th Avenue North song, because he carries me through the storm. He walks to me on the tempest sea. The rain brings life back to my dying tree. And one day through the clouds, I'll see the rainbow. So yeah, that's it. And the song, I'm gonna share the 10th Avenue North song. Because like when it came out, when the video came out, the song I was already hearing on the radio. And so the song had already inspired the poem that and I already had the title of the book. And then this video came out, and then I don't know if it came out around the same time. It's from 11 years ago. Anyways, I had already written the poem when I saw and had the title of the book. I'm trying to see what the date is on here. Yeah, March 13th, 2013. So yeah, I think this is probably is where I got the title of the book from. Really, it probably is. But I mean, I already had the tree concept in my head. I don't know which came first, but this song came out right around the same time. It says March 13th, 2013. So that was like really, I wrote the poem in 2013 though. I did. Well, the poem is about something that happened in late 2013. But I think I also did write the poem in 2013. And then the book, I did this book in 2015. So I'm going to from my poem. The 7-story tree. Okay, let me share this. First aid kit. Emmylou. Oh, Emmylou Harris. Yeah, that's right. That's right. If he was the one, that would have made him like, yeah. I didn't. I'm like praying kind of more regularly, not just like here and there. I'm praying more regularly about it, and I'm praying that I think I'll know when I meet him. I think I will. I don't think I've met him yet. I don't think so. I've been praying more about it lately. So, and I'm like, I always go like this. No, don't cross your fingers. I don't believe in that. Pray. Don't cross your fingers. Don't cross your fingers for me. I don't believe in luck. Here's a song, Worn by 10th Avenue North. Oh, and I just realized something crazy. They went to my college. I just watched a little video about 10th Avenue North, and they lived on 10th Avenue. That's why they named the band that. And they went to my college, which is Palm Beach Atlantic University now, but it used to be Palm Beach Junior College, and that's where I started out and didn't finish college. So that blew my mind. I was like, wait, I probably knew this before, but I had forgotten, because when I was so involved in Christianity, that was my jam. A lot of these poems, they have a little line here, a little borrowing from a Christian song here or there. And like my Redheaded poem, which ends with that's another song. Okay, my Redheaded poem has a line from the song King of My Heart, which is by Love and the Outcome, Christian band. I'm going to check. Let me see. Your order has been picked up from Chick-fil-A and your dasher's on the way. I think it might be here. Let me see. No, not yet. They're going to tell me. They'll let me know when it's here. I'll have to check this out. Emmylou Harris is the one I told you guys before too. I mean, like even before the book though, and my ex did a mosaic of a tree in front of our fireplace in the big house that he built, because I would try to get him to let me pick stuff out or let me do stuff, because he would let me do so little of that. Everything had to be the way he wanted it. Like I wanted a house with a wraparound porch, and he couldn't, I picked out the plan I wanted. He sent the plan back, because I didn't even want to build a house, you guys. It was I think like he always knew, because our marriage was always rocky, and he knew that I was headstrong. He knew I was. I saw on I saw this thing on Twitter. I saw this comment on Twitter. And if you say, and because this is, I'm like, oh, wow, that's it. That's me too. If you say you like her fire, why are you always trying to put it out? And I was like, whoa, that sums up my marriage completely. That sums up my marriage completely. So I even so I didn't even want to build a house. I tried to talk him out of that. He wouldn't relent, and he had to build a house. And it was just like, it was like I was a single mom anyways. And he wasn't even there. And then it caused it financial pressure and burden. But then that's interesting. They're from Stockholm. Wow. Even when they talk, they don't have an accent, but a lot of the ways they sing can bring tears to your eyes. Wow. So they're from Sweden. So my mom was Swedish. I'm wanting to show you the picture of her again. My mom was Swedish and Norwegian. So I am 25. I'm like a little more Norwegian. So I think my dad was a little bit Norwegian. But that's what I'm basically a mutt. But I'm the most Norwegian, actually. And I'm like 25%. I found out from my dad's side because my dad was adopted. I'm 25% European Jewish. European Jewish. Okay. My dasher's approaching with my order. Yay. So, yeah. So, I was going to read you the rest of the story of Joseph. I forgot. So, we were to the part where he goes to the king and he tells him what his dreams mean? He tells him his dreams mean because he dreams about, yeah, I'm that kind of Jew too. Yeah. Yeah. I did Ancestry. I want to do the 23andMe because that's what my older son did. And then so annoyingly didn't tell me about it. But so, and he wouldn't know where he wouldn't know where the things came from without mine, I don't think, because we didn't know what half of me was. Both my ex and I, we didn't know what half of us was because his dad was not his biological dad, but adopted him. And he didn't know who his biological dad was. And my dad was adopted. So anyway, so I think we were the part of Joseph's story where he, correct me if I'm wrong, where he interprets the king's dreams and says there's going to be 7 years of plenty and then 7 years of famine. And he says, well, what we'll do is we'll save up 1/5 for the famine years. I'm going to get my food. Yay! Got my Chick-fil-A. Let me read some of it and then I'll eat. So we're almost to the part where his brothers come to get food. So when Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, Jacob said to his sons, "Why do you look at one another?" And he said, "Indeed, I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down to that place and buy for us there, that we may live and not die." So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. But Jacob did not send Joseph's brother Benjamin with his brothers, for he said, "Lest some calamity befall him." Wish we had that fast delivery here in Texas. The frozen lemonade is so good. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So, and the sons of Israel went to buy grain among those who journeyed, for the famine was in the land of Canaan too. Now Joseph was governor over the land, and it was he who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and bowed down before him, remember, like his dream, with their faces to the earth. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he acted as a stranger to them and spoke roughly to them. Then he said to them, "Where do you come from?" And they said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." So Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he had dreamed about them and said to them, "You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said to him, "No, my lord, but your servants have come to buy food. We are all one man's sons. We are honest men, your servants, not spies." And he said to them, "No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land." And they said, "Your servants are 12 brothers, sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And in fact, the youngest is with our father today, and one is no more." But Joseph said to them, "It is as I spoke to you, saying, you are spies. But in this matter you shall be tested. By the life of Pharaoh, you shall not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here." So, and I feel like I understand this more better. He was making sure that they had changed and that they weren't going to they weren't going to let any harm come to Benjamin. He was making sure that they were changed before he let them into his life again. And I'm like, wow. But I really understand it more now than I have ever before. Because, yeah, it's a very wise thing he does. And I never really understood it. So send one of you, let him bring your brother, and you shall be kept in prison, that your words may be tested to see whether there is any truth in you. Or else by the life of Pharaoh, you surely are spies. So he put them all together in prison 3 days. Oh, wow, this is not, and I watched the little cartoon the other night. Then Joseph said to them the third day, "Do this and live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be confined to your prison house, but you go and carry grain for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified, and you shall not die." And they did so. Then they said to one another, "We are truly guilty concerning our brother, for we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore, this distress has come upon us." They're like, we're being punished. And I was thinking, like, when I first read this story, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh, he's punishing him. And I didn't really understand it, because I'm like, oh, he's supposed to forgive. Oh, you're supposed to forgive. Why is Joseph punishing them? But I'm gonna eat my food now. I'm gonna pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for all these YouTube friends and followers. Um, thank you for blessing us so much, Lord. Thank you for my kids and my grandkids. Thank you for my apartment. Thank you for my car. Thank you for the money I get from my ex, and thank you for the money I got from my dad. I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. I really consider the money from my dad is from my mom too, because she made sure that everything was set up so that he wouldn't remarry, and then whoever he remarried would just get everything. She made sure of that. I love their fries. Yummy. Ah! Good thing I didn't open it yet. I dropped my ketchup. I got some waffle fries. Want a bite? That's what I like. I'm behind. I need to cancel Netflix, so I watch all the YouTube that I need to watch. Girl in the Woods. She always offers you a bite. I got Chick-fil-A sauce. But yeah. My mom would have loved Chick-fil-A. But at the time she passed, 2009, they didn't have any Chick-fil-A's in California. That sounds really good. My mom used to drink the red zinger tea. My mom used to drink that. And I had a sweet lady she was from Brazil. And their whole family came to my Airbnb. And their daughter had an Airbnb in Phoenix. And they had an Airbnb in Orlando. And they were in Warner Robins because the son, this lady's grandson, was in the Air Force. And they were there to see him. And they stayed at my Airbnb. And this lady was so sweet. Always the nice, sweet, motherly types remind me of my mom. And she gave me some hibiscus tea. It was good. Hibiscus tea, yeah. And my mom was sort of like feisty too. So like Lindy kind of reminds me of my mom. Kind of feisty like me. Very opinionated like me. Yeah. So Are they saving money? It's a thinner fillet than usual. Let me take a picture of my food. Oh, let me put out a video. Wait. Okay, Lindy put out an update. Oh. Oh, I need to give my, I don't know if I can go back and do that. Maybe I can try again. There. Yeah, Brooke, yeah. Brooke gives you the first bite. Yeah. Brooke is the, girl in the woods. Yeah, can you drop that channel? Drop that channel. If you don't mind, Christina. Moderator. It's a good channel. She doesn't need my help though. I need her help. Brooke, help me. Hey, Brooke, help me. I kind of skipped over. I didn't mean to. Give my. Oh, wait, the dasher. That's okay. Want to help out the dasher. Girl in the woods. The buns get bigger, but the content stays the same. Well, I don't think the buns are any bigger either. I think the chicken's thinner. It seems like it to me. And I made Elsa a moderator, but I'm not sure if Elsa knows how to drop a link. And I don't know if Elsa wanted to be a moderator. I just made Elsa a moderator. Thank you. Thank you, Christina. I didn't walk yet today. I need to walk when we get done here. I'm all about girl power. I mean, and I barely have time to watch her channel, so I might be subscribed to his channel though. Let me see if it's the right one. It's a big channel. 580. Yeah, that's it. 580,000 subscribers. And she's also Christian. She was on Alone, the show Alone. Because she knows how all the outdoorsy stuff. And she builds like cabins, like she's super cool. She builds cabins and stuff. They have land in Alaska. Now her kids are like my kids' age, I think. Well, maybe a little younger. She might be a little younger than me. And her son now is homesteading in Alaska, bought land in Alaska, and is working on his property up there. He finished college. It's a good channel. Oh, so his is called Betting on Alaska. Okay. Let's see. It might be linked to it on her channel, right? Yeah, okay. His name is Mick. Okay, I'm subscribed. Thank you for that information. Yeah, it was alone. It's all in her trailer thing. I watched that to get all the info on her. She has a long video on her channel about all the stuff she's done. She was on Alone more than once. I don't think she ever won, but that's just like tough. Probably usually a man wins, I bet. I don't know. Here I'm talking about girl power. A girl could win, I guess. I don't know. I don't watch that show. I started watching it looking for her because I saw it on Netflix, but I think it's the recent one that's on there now. But here is her son's. I just subscribed, but I don't know if I don't know. Betting on Alaska. Yeah, it sounds very interesting. Oh, I wanted to say something. Like, if you guys email me, tell me. Because I just found an email from Judy. She lasted 45 days. How long did the winner last? I went in my junk email looking for something and realized that Judy BW emailed me, and I wanted to say, I'm sorry, Judy. I just saw your email and I just answered it. And please come over here. If you email me, let me know just in case it goes if it goes to my junk email. So I'll go in there and get it. But I didn't know Judy emailed me. And yeah, just me too. I wouldn't even last a week, I don't think. I don't know. But they kill food and eat it. So I started watching it. And I watched some girl on there. I watched it. And this girl killed a pheasant or something and ate it. Or skinned it. It was pretty gross. I'm like, I don't really want to watch this unless I can find the one that Brooke's on. So I stopped watching it. Yeah, I understand. You're just an honorary mod then. I made Roxanne D a mod and she got onto me and I'm like, you don't have to do anything, okay? She's like, I don't want to be a mod. And I'm like, you don't have to do anything. You're just an honorary mod, okay? Yeah, I was hungry. So I usually eat like 2 meals a day. She was in one season with her hubby. I don't know. Like I said, there's a video about it it's on her channel intro. Okay. Let's read what happens with Joseph. Now that I'm done eating. This is my baby Bible from 1984. So, so, so they say we are truly guilty concerning our brother. You know, they think it's their karma. For we saw the anguish of his soul when he pleaded with us, and we would not hear. Therefore, this distress has come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, did I not speak to you, saying, do not sin against the boy? And you would not listen. Therefore, behold, his blood is now required of us. But they did not know that Joseph understood them, for he spoke to them through an interpreter. So he speaks the Hebrew language, but he was speaking to them through an interpreter pretending he, was Egyptian. Then he turned himself away from them and wept. And then he returned to them again and talked with them. And he took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph gave a command to fill their sacks with grain, to restore every man's money to his sack, and to give them provisions for the journey. This he did for them. So they loaded their donkeys with the grain and departed from there. But as one of them opened the sack, to give his donkey feed, at the encampment he saw his money, and there it was in the mouth of his sack. So he said to his brothers, my money has been restored, and there it is in my sack. Then their hearts failed them, and they were afraid, saying to one another, what is this that God has done to us? Then they went to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had happened to them, saying, the man who is Lord of the land spoke roughly to us and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, we are honest men, we are not spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father this day in the land of Canaan. Okay. The Whipple. Yeah, their name is Whipple. Yeah. They did some TV show. Yeah. It was Alone. It's called Alone. Okay. So they're talking to their dad about what happened, and they just still don't know that it's Joseph. She love a good mystery story. Then the man, the Lord of the country, said to us, by this I will know that you are honest men. Leave one of your brothers here with me. Take food for the famine of your households, and be gone, and bring your youngest brother to me, so I shall know that you are not spies, but that you are honest men, and I will deliver your brother to you, and you may trade in the land. Then it happened, as they emptied their sacks, that surprisingly each man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. They're like, what the heck is going on? Both Jacob and their father said to them, you have bereaved me of my children. Joseph is no more, Simeon is no more, and you want to take Benjamin away? All these things are against me. Then Reuben spoke to his father, saying, kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you. But he said, my son shall not go down with you, for this his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If any calamity should befall him along the way in which you go, then would bring me down to my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. So the plot thickens. Yeah. That's why, and Joseph knows it's them, so he knows, and he probably wants to see. In the cartoon, I'm not sure if this is how it was though, but in the cartoon, the DreamWorks cartoon, Benjamin isn't even, I don't think, born. There's this cream stuff in this lemonade. It's so good. I don't know what they put in it, but it's good. It's kind of like an ice cream. It's yummy. It tastes like a key lime pie, sort of. This is what it tastes like. When we lived in Florida, my mom used to make key lime pie. I love key lime pie. And that is what the lemonade tastes like. I'm out of root beer. Dang it. So, where was I? Now the famine was severe in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the grain which they had brought from Egypt, that their father said to them, so they just left Simeon there. Oh my goodness. They just left Simeon there. Because he says, Simeon's no more. He's like, I'm not going to let you take. This part's not, they condensed, the cartoon, the movie. I was like, I don't know. And see, last night, I was watching a thing about Moses, which was very interesting, but wasn't all correct either. So you always go back to this and see what they added and what they took away and what they did. In the DreamWorks cartoon, just as in this Moses thing, they give the woman a bigger part, and I don't know how much influence they had back then, but I don't know. I'm kind of doubtful that they had a lot of influence, but like in the Joseph cartoon, his wife says, why are you doing this to them? About Joseph handling them roughly and all of that. And says, for him to be, and at first she doesn't know, and then he tells her that they're his brothers. And in this story, the wife's not even involved. And it was the same thing when I watched it's like a documentary, and it has because Moses is in Moses' story is in the Quran, and it's in Judaism and it's in Christianity. So they have all these different experts on Christianity, Islam, and Judaism talking about Moses in the Netflix documentary, and it was very interesting. And then they have actors playing out the story, so it's very interesting. Like the Charlton Heston and the Ten Commandments and stuff. I didn't watch all. There's like 3 episodes. I'm on the last episode. I didn't finish it, but the same thing in there is they give Zipporah has more influence and is saying more and doing more than in the story too. But this part is not. So Judah spoke to him, saying, "Go back and buy a little food." Okay, I'm supposed to be done. Let me finish the story though. Go back, buy us a little food. But Judah spoke to him, saying, "The man solemnly warned us, saying, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you send your brother with you, we will go down and buy you food. If you send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you." And Israel said, names are interchangeable here. So Jacob wrestled with God, and God changed his name to Israel. And it's funny, like every time I think like when he's acting a little more Jacob-y, a little more like the deceiver and not like the prince, and here he's coming to a good decision. So he's called Israel here, but his same person. He wrestled with God, and then because you wrestled with God, you shall be called a prince with God. That's what Israel means. So, and Israel said, "Why did you deal so wrongly?" Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Why? I don't know, but he uses Israel here. Why did you deal so wrongfully with me as to tell the man whether you had still another brother? But they said, the man asked us pointedly about ourselves and our kindred, saying, is your father still alive? Have you another brother? So he didn't know. It was Joseph. He wanted to know. And we told him according to these words. Could we possibly have known that he would say, bring your brother down? Then Judah said to Israel, his father, send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you. I'm wondering how long this was. How long did they leave Simeon there in jail? And I wonder if he was treated as harshly as the other prisoners in the prison. I bet he wasn't, but Joseph couldn't let his secret out, He wanted them to come back because he wanted to see everyone. So you shall, arise and go that we may live. We will arise and go that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I myself will be surety for him. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. For if we had not lingered, surely by now we would have returned the second time. I wonder how long it was. And their father Israel said to them, if it must be so, then do this. Take some of the best fruits of the land in your vessels and carry down a present for the man. A little balm and a little honey, spices and myrrh, pistachio nuts and almonds. Take double money in your hand, and take back in your hand the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take your brother also, and arise, go back to the man. And may God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release your other brother and Benjamin. If I am bereaved, I am bereaved. So the men took that present and Benjamin, and they took double money in their hand, and arose and went down to Egypt, and they stood before Joseph. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, take these men to my home, and slaughter an animal, and make ready, for these men will dine with me at noon. The man did as Joseph ordered, and the man brought the men into Joseph's house. Now the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of the money which was returned in our sacks, and the first time that we are brought in, that we may seek an occasion against us and fall upon us to take us as slaves with our donkeys. And they drew near to the steward of Joseph's house. They talked with him at the door of the house and said, oh, sir, we indeed came down the first time to buy food. But it happened when we came to the encampment that we opened our sacks, and there each man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. So we have brought it back in our hand. We have brought down other money in our hands to buy food. We do not know who put our money in our sacks. They're like scared out of their minds. They're like scared out of their minds. But he said, peace be with you, and do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money. Then he brought Simeon out to them. So he lied, basically, about the money anyways. So the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their donkeys feed. When they made the present ready for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they would eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed down before him to the earth, the dream coming true again. Then he asked them about their well-being and said, is your father well? The old man of whom you spoke, is he still alive? And they answered, your servant, our father, is in good health. He is still alive. And they bowed their heads down and prostrated themselves. Then he lifted his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is this your younger brother of whom you spoke to me? And he said, God be gracious to you, my son. And his heart yearned for his brother, so Joseph made haste and sought somewhere to weep, and he went into his chamber and wept there. So he's going away from them and crying, and he has to hold himself together because he's still not telling them who he is. There's another test. Then he washed his face and came out, and he restrained himself and said, serve the bread. So they set him a place by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat food with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked in astonishment at one another. Then he took servings to them from before him, but Benjamin's serving was 5 times as much as any of theirs. So Joseph's showing favoritism to his brother that has the same mom as him. So they drank and were merry with him. But he set them down. See, they were astonished because I think he knew who was the oldest. He set them out in order, So they were astonished, how did he know that? But he's still not telling them. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry. Put each man's money in the mouth of his sack, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and his grain money. So he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. As soon as the morning dawned, the men were sent away. they and their donkeys. And they had gone out of the city and were not yet far off. Joseph said to his servant, "Get up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, 'Why have you repaid evil for good? Is not this the one from which my Lord drinks, and with which he indeed practices divination? You have done evil in so doing.'" I don't think the Hebrews practiced divination too, so that's like a cover up thing. I mean, maybe Joseph did. I don't know. Maybe he was taking on some of their customs, but I don't know. So he overtook them and he spoke to them these same words. And they said to him, "Why does my Lord say these words? Far be it from us that your servants should do such a thing. Look, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the money which we found in the mouth of our sacks. How then could we steal silver or gold from your Lord's house? With whomever of your servants it is found, let him die, and we will be my Lord's slaves." And he said, "Now let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found shall be my slave, and you shall be blameless." So he purposely put it in Benjamin's. He wanted to see if they would do to Benjamin what they did to him, if they would let Benjamin die. Because, they basically left him for dead. They think he's dead. They don't know what became of him. So then each man speedily let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. So he searched, and he began with the oldest and left off with the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they tore their clothes, and each man loaded his donkey and returned to the city. So Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, "What deed is this you have done? Did you not know that such a man as I can certainly practice divination?" That kind of threw me off too. That always threw me off also. Then Judah said, "What shall we say to my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of your servants." See, they're making a confession now. "Here we are, my Lord's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found." But he said, "Far be it from me that I should do so. But the man in whose hand the cup was found, he shall be my slave. And as for you, go up in peace to your father." Then Judah came near him and said, "Oh, my Lord, please let," this is what he was wanting out of them as a confession, "Oh, my Lord, please let your servant speak a word in my Lord's hearing, and do not let your anger burn against your servant, for you are even like Pharaoh. My Lord asked his servant, saying, 'Have you a father or a brother?' And we said to my Lord, 'We have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age who is young. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. And you said to your servants, Bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him.' And we said to my Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. But you said to your servants, Unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall see my face no more. So it was when we went up to your servant, my father, that we told him the words of my Lord. And our father said, Go back and buy us a little food. But we said, We cannot go down if our youngest brother is with us, then we shall go down. For we may not see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us. Then your servant, my father, said to us, You know that my wife has borne me 2 sons, his favorite wife. And the one went down from me, and I said, Surely he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. But if you take this one also from me, and calamity befalls him, you shall bring down my gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Now therefore, when I come to you, your servant, my father, and the lad is not with us, since his life is bound up in the lad's life, it has happened when he sees that the lad is not with us, that he will die. So your servants will bring down the gray hair of your servant, our father, with sorrow to the grave. For your servant became surety for the lad to my father, saying, if I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame for my father forever. Now therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the lad as a slave to my lord, and let the lad go up with his brothers. So he sees that he's not going to let that happen to Benjamin. For how shall I go up to my father if the lad is not with me, lest perhaps I see the evil that would come upon my father? Then Joseph could not restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried out, make everyone go out from me. So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard it. Then Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Does my father still live? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed in his presence. They were like, now they're really freaking out, like, oh my goodness. And Joseph said to his brothers, please come near me. And they came near him. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. But now do not therefore be grieved or angry with yourselves because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. See, he sees like the whole picture of what God was doing. And they are all saved because Joseph went there and interpreted the dreams and all of that. It's just a really cool story. So then they all came to Egypt, and then they were there, and in the course of 400 years, they were all slaves again, like Joseph. And then Moses comes to free them from Egypt. Isn't that a wild story? But anyways, I wanted to read that to you because I understood more, because I keep going back, and I think this is why Dr. Romani will say you don't have to forgive, but you can forgive but not reconcile. So you don't go back to people who were abusive to you. And so that's why Joseph had to make sure that they weren't the same, that they had changed before he said, I am Joseph. And he didn't, when he was free, he didn't go back to them. I was like, when he became free too, he could have, but he just settled in Egypt and he got married and he had to, and he worked in Egypt and he did the stuff for Pharaoh, and then it just took a long time, but it all worked out. Anyways, are y'all still with me? 9 watching. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to let you guys go. I need to go walk before it gets really dark. I love this story too. I love it too. Yeah. And they foreshadow Jesus. Mr. Whipple. The old Charmin toilet paper commercials. Please don't squeeze the Charmin. That's right. His name was Whipple, wasn't it? That's true. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to look at my list so I don't forget to pray for anybody. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing what color this turns out as. See that? It's kind of blondish. This is my natural color, what it's fading to. I'm probably going to eventually dye it all back red. It's like my brand, but right now I've never let it um, grow out to see what color. So um, I was friends with Joy Best Life. I stopped hanging out with her, but I didn't know her hair looks blonde. It just looks blonde. Um, and but then I saw like this old picture, and she's like, "Yeah, my hair was red. My hair was red," and uh, it, because red hair it doesn't really go gray. It kind of fades and looks kind of blonde. So I'm trying to see what color it's coming out as. So two tone. Yeah, so it's and I had saw someone at church years ago when I started going to the Lutheran church after I had that incident at the Baptist church. I was going to a Lutheran church in Georgia, and I saw this lady with this hairstyle that I think it was like blonde on the side and brunette on the top, and I wanted to do it, and it's kind of like two tone like that. But Joy's hair just looked blonde, and then I saw the picture of her, and it was red before. She's like, "No, my hair was red," and I'm like, "Well, maybe mine will just be blonde." And that's what actually someone at church said to me. He was like, "Oh, so why did you choose to dye your hair red?" And I was like horrified. I'm like, "What the hell? My hair's been red all my life." Because he saw this and it looked blonde, and I'm like, "No, I'm dyeing it back to the red that it was before." So, yeah. Um, some of the stories are hard to comprehend in terms of today. Yeah, there's some stories in there, man. um, yeah, in the middle of it's a story of um, Judah's daughter-in-law, and that's an interesting story. In the middle of the Joseph story, it's in Genesis, and so Judah's daughter-in-law pretends to be a prostitute because she wants to have children, but her husband, uh, Judah's sons, both. I think he thought she was like bad luck or something because she married the one son and he died, and she married the other son and he died, and he's like, "Well, when I have another son, you can marry him," because that was the Jewish tradition, I guess. Be some cougars in that time period, I guess, because if she's waiting for a young uh, kid to grow up to marry, but he didn't give her the next son, so she pretended to be a prostitute. And this is the Bible, you guys. This is in the Bible. I'm like, and he says, "Well, she was more honorable than I," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I think so." Um, but a color for each end of your poles. Yeah. So the girl I saw at church, had her, and I did at one time, like the Airbnb guest I had who dyed her hair blue, and so we were blue and red. We were blue and red, and then when I was taking care of Gladys's dog. Gladys's dog was blue. We were blue and red also. But my Airbnb guest Blue, when she got the bleach to redo her hair, because it had been green before that, she had extra bleach and I bleached it. And so it was blonde on the bottom and red on the top. And yeah, I remember that my daughter said something. So I still, when I was in Georgia, I was still seeing my kids now and again, but it was just like they weren't treating me very nicely, and I didn't feel like they really wanted wanted to see me. And there was just a lot of issues, a lot of things going on, a lot of reasons why I left Georgia. And I feel like it was the right decision. And I felt like when I went back to Georgia in my RV in 2021, it didn't really go very well. And it was too soon for me to go back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, CW Style. Thank you for praying. I'm going to pray for you and not forget you this time. Okay, I'm going to pray for everybody and let you all go. Dear Lord, thank you for all these YouTube friends and followers, Lord. I pray that you would be with Bren and continue to heal her rash and be with her and strengthen her as she cares for her mother and heal her mother. Please bless Tim and his family. Keep him safe as he travels. Thank you for the blessing he is, and thank you for blessing his channel and continue to be with him. Please be with Larkwood as he travels and keep him safe and bless his family. Please bless Christina and her family, and I pray you be with her as she travels. And please bless CW Style and bless him and his family, and be with them. What is your name? I'll just call you CW. Please bless Letitia and her family and be with her and bless her. Please bless Elsa and her fur babies, and bless Bren's animals too, Lord, and her family. And thank you that she was able to be back with us tonight. And I pray that she has a phone plan where she can be on YouTube as often as she would like to. And please bless Glenn and his family and bless him and keep him safe and watch over him. And thank you for always guiding us and leading us, Lord. Thank you for our children and our grandchildren. I pray you bless them. And I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Bren. Yes, I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday. Yes. Thank you, Flames. Good night. So don't say that no one cares for you, because I do and God does too. Don't forget to pray for Red, because Red is praying for you. Good night. Thank you. Thank you so much.